Linda from paperboutique.blogspot.com. Last week I recorded a video comparing Martha Stewart's scoreboard to the Scor-Pal. Since then I've had several requests to make a video on how to make A2 envelopes using these tools. So today we're going to be making, this is the envelope with the Martha Stewart scoreboard, and we're going to be making the envelope with the Scor-Pal. I thought it'd be fun to also make liners today. Well, let's go ahead and get started. First of all, we'll use the Scor-Pal. When I made the envelope for the Scor-Pal, my dimensions are going to be a little bit different than the videos that you are seeing online. I made this flap a little bit wider here. I like it a little more substantial. And I made this a little bit shorter because I liked the finished look to be just a little shorter. So let's make this envelope. You're going to start with a piece of paper that is 7 3/4 inches by 10 inches. And don't worry about the measurements. I'm going to have them on my blog at www.paperboutique.blogspot.com. So the first thing you're going to do is take the 7 3/4 inch side, line it up at the top, and I'm just going to do this really quick so we can get through both of them. You're going to score at 1 inch. And then you're going to score at another inch. You're going to turn it so the long side is at the top, and then you're going to score at 2.5 inches, and then you're going to score at 7 inches. What you're going to want to do after that is fold up all the score lines, and in each corner, I don't know if you can see that on camera, there's going to be a rectangle. And what we're going to do next is cut out that rectangle. And I have a piece that's already cut out. So you're going to cut out each corner and the rectangles are gone. Then you're going to fold in the sides and just put a glue stick here or tape runner, and then there's your finished envelope. What I like to do to make it look a little more finished is to, before I glue this down obviously, is use a corner and then a corner rounder on the top. And let me show you what that looks like. And here's an example where we've already rounded the corners on both of the top and the sides. This one already has the liner, so we'll go ahead and make the liner. You're going to cut a piece of paper for the liner that's 5.5 inches by 4.5 inches, and then you're just going to go ahead and round the corners. And what I do, this is just slip it in and then get it kind of where you want it and lift it up and just put glue stick or some tape runner here and then glue it down. Now this one isn't lined all the way to the bottom. If you wanted it, you could, or if you wanted to save paper, you could do it just like this. After you glue it down, then turn it over, and you've already creased the score lines. Crease it again, and I'll remove that, and this will be your finished product using the Scor-Pal. Well, let's talk a little bit about how to use the Martha Stewart tool to do the Martha Stewart envelope. Now, the Martha Stewart scoreboard comes with an envelope guideline that you can just slip in the corner, and then you'll start with, I'm going to move my papers a little closer here. You'll start with a piece of paper that's 8.5 by 8.5. But before we score this, I want to show you a couple of things. Martha Stewart has directions on her envelope and where to score them here. Well, I changed the measurements because if you make the Martha Stewart envelope, you can see this is a regular A2 size card. It's really an oversized envelope, and I wanted mine to fit a little better, so I redid the measurements. The size of the paper is the same. You're going to do an 8.5 by 8.5, and then what you do is you line it up. I'm going to move it over a little here so you can see that right with that point, and then you're going to score at 3.1/8 inches. Then you're going to turn it and score at 3 3/4 inches. Now these are my measurements. Turn it again, line that point right up, score at 3.1/8, turn it again, and you're going to score at 3 3/4. Now her measurements are, like I said, a little different. Then you're going to fold up along all the score lines, and there's going to be in the corners a little triangle, and we're going to cut that triangle out, and I already have a piece where I've done that. As you can see, we've gone ahead and cut out each one of those triangles. The next step is you just will obviously fold in on the score lines. I put like a little bit of glue stick or a little, you could even put a glue dot there just to hold it. Then fold this up and you're just going to put glue stick up there. And measure this, and you can mark it with a pencil and score this line or cut it. I like to cut it off to just give it a little more finished look, but it makes a really cute envelope. Let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. And here's an example of the finished envelope with that spot. We've just cut that flap off. This one is lined. Let's go ahead and make the liner at this point. What you're going to do is take a piece of paper that's 5 3/8 by 7 7/8. 5 3/8 by 7 7/8. You're going to line up the tip, the corner, and you're going to score at 1 7/8. You're going to turn it, score again at 1 7/8. And I'm not scoring because we don't have a lot of time, so I'm just kind of pretend scoring. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this, fold it down along the score lines so it looks like this, and then you're going to just trim along the score lines. So your final envelope liner will look like this. Now this liner I made is a full-size liner, and it's going to go all the way in. If you want it shorter like we did the other one, you can just cut it off here. Same procedure. Put it in, line it up to where you want it, flip it up, glue stick, tape runner, turn it over, and then you've already got your score line where you've scored, and then just go ahead and move this out of the way, and then just score it here. So it's really, they're really cute envelopes in there. I think they're equally cute, they just look a little bit different. As I said in my last video, I enjoy using both the Martha Stewart scoreboard and the Scor-Pal, and I really recommend that you purchase the product that meets your individual needs and your budget. Well, I'd like to thank you for watching, and please check out my blog at www.paperboutique.blogspot.com for more videos, project ideas, and we have cards posted. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.